on, guys? You're tuned into another edition of the main event on Talkin Hands. I'm your host, Preston, joined by my co-host, Mr. Danny Betts. Huge week tonight. This weekend, actually, we're going to break down Dmitry Bivol take on Gilberto Ramirez. Before we get into that fight, let's recap our fights from last weekend. We can start off Vasily Lomachenko gets it done, closer than expected, taking out Ortiz by decision. Danny, thoughts on Lomachenko's performance?
Yeah, shout out to Ortiz, man. He was game from the get go. I think it was a combination of a couple of things. I thought Lomachenko was a little rusty, being away for a while, the whole thing about his country and the war and things like that. Because I think Ortiz won the first 3 to 4 rounds, and then I think around the fifth round, Loma won, and after that he started, finding his spots and looked better. Um, the reason why I see a lot of people thinking that Ortiz won, which you could debate it. I thought Lomachenko won because he ended the fight better.
Mm-hmm.
Rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. He just finished stronger. Ortiz kind of ran out of gas. He was getting at first in the beginning what helped him was his jab. Looked great, and then you could tell he was kind of getting tired and things like that. And then finally, Lomachenko started finding his timing, his combinations. And I thought he won the fight, but there was one scorecard. I think it was like 117,
Yeah,
which
I
was
think it was.
crazy.
Yeah.
I had Lomachenko win by a couple rounds, but not like that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think it was 117, 111, 15, 13, and 16, 12. So you unanimous for Lomachenko, picks up the win. Looks like he's going to fight Devin Haney next. I saw came into the ring after the fact. Be a tough fight, should be a very closely lined fight.
Definitely
Like pretty much a pick 'em. We got Nick in the chat saying what's up, and Nasty Nate, a member here at Pub Sports Radio. If you guys would like to become a member too, you guys can hit the join button. It should be in the description right now. $4.99 a month, as Nick likes to say, 18 cents a day. Join that membership, become a member to Pub Sports Radio. Yeah, big win there for Lomachenko, gets it done. Hopefully we see him take on Devin Haney early next year. Other fight would be the fight we actually spoke about last week or covered. Jake Paul gets it done. Jake Paul takes out. Well, he doesn't take him out. He wins a decision. Thought he was going to take him out. Over Anderson the Spider Silva. Jake Paul wins. Continues his undefeated run. Who knew? Who knew he'd still be undefeated 5 fights in? But Jake Paul, is he looking like a serious boxer? Is he going to take that next step up? Or who's he going to take on next? Thoughts on Jake Paul's fight, Danny?
Shout out to Nasty Name, my guy, Stimmy OG, Sting him. He said, Loma has to go back to the front lines in the war. He wasn't in the front lines, but I see what you're saying. I mean, it's a little rusty, but he was humbled about it. That's why I like to, his interview afterwards. But yeah, Jake Paul, one of the best boxers in the world. I'm joking, but he looked better. He looked better, man. I saw some improvements in this one. I know there's a lot of people in Twitter saying that it was a robbery, and they thought Silva won or is rigged or blah blah blah. Listen, I don't know if it's fixed or rigged or anything like that. I can only tell you what I see. And I saw improvements by Jake Paul. Like his cardio looked better. He was throwing the jab better. His movement was better. Like everything. Like he's throwing body shots here and there, good counters. Anderson Silva had some good flurries. He won a couple of rounds. I thought Jake Paul won by a couple of rounds, especially with that knockdown. And yes, that punch connected because I see a lot of TikToks and videos out there saying that punch, that knockdown Anderson Silva didn't connect. It definitely did. They're taking the same camera angle that because he was wearing one black glove, so it would blend into the background, so you couldn't see the whole way. But when it went to the other side from the camera angle, you could clearly see that it clipped him. But yeah, Paul, like I said, he looked good. I don't know who we see next. Maybe Nate Diaz, I know Hall after his fight with Le'Veon Bell was calling him out. Who knows? I think maybe Diaz because obviously that's
Yeah.
a bigger fight money wise too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can't see Uriah Hall getting that fight. I don't think he has the marketability. And if Uriah Hall really wanted that fight, he would have knocked out Le'Veon Bell. He wouldn't have
Yeah.
won a pretty tepid decision. We see Mills in the chat. Mills had Jake Paul. We picked Jake Paul. Uh, Kind of the writing was on the wall. You watched. I mean, really, Silva. Hey, look what he said. He got dropped twice in sparring. What happened in the fight? He gets dropped by a relatively glancing blow because early in the fight he was taking some pretty good shots. Paul
Yeah.
hit him with that overhand right. Accumulation happened, went to the body, started tiring out, getting hurt, and Paul. I agree. I thought Paul won the fight. I thought Silva had two good rounds, one really good round, and then Paul kind of just beat him. Silva's not a boxer per se, but it was a good feather in Jake Paul's cap.
Yeah, it was, man. It was entertaining. I mean, you gotta take it like how it is. Like, remember, Jake Paul wasn't a boxer. He doesn't have an amateur career. He doesn't have nationals, golden gloves, or anything like that. So you can't like. At first, I was like that. I'll be honest, but you can't call him out and want him to fight an undefeated professional real boxer when this guy's just growing and trying to become a real boxer. So
Yeah, I mean, it was 10 times better than the Woodley fights.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I wouldn't, people still discrediting him, I think should calm down a little bit. Yeah, he's not, make no bones about it, he would get handled by Canelo. Like, that should never happen.
For
That would be
sure.
stupid. If anything, to me, the smartest fight would be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is
Yes, that would be
big.
huge.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
big guy now. They're probably the same weight. Connor is seen as a good striker. Paul's a boxer. Connor fought Floyd. No, that would be an interesting fight. I think. Why not? Better than Nate Diaz because Nate Diaz, I think Paul would kill Nate Diaz. So
Entertaining though, man. So he's smart. You gotta give him that, man. The guy knows his business.
yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Can move on. Our main event this week. Very good light heavyweight clash.
Yes.
We have Dmitry Bivol, fresh off his upset win over Canelo Alvarez, taking on Gilberto Ramirez in the afternoon on Saturday. Not a Saturday night card. This one is in Abu Dhabi. Danny, early thoughts on Ramirez Bivol?
Nasty Nate said Jake versus Dos Santos. Dos Santos will go to sleep because he has no damn chin at all. If you're talking about, Junior Dos
Junior Dos
Santos,
Santos?
that's what I'm thinking about. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean
It's
Dos
gotta be him.
Santos. Yeah, no way. He fought in that stupid the
Yeah,
triangle, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no way. Yeah.
But this fight, man, coming up this weekend is gonna be it's an awesome fight. I still feel like it's under the radar. I mean, maybe it's because it's Abu Dhabi or whatever, but Ramirez, they call him Zurdo, which in Spanish that's for southpaw. He's a lefty, so he's gonna be in a southpaw stance against Bivol. He I picked against him his last fight with Canelo. And I knew he was one of the best, if not the best, at that division. And he really proved it there to me. He's just got it all. He's not the biggest guy for that division, but he's
Yep.
not the smallest either. So he's like the perfect size. He's got the speed. What I like about him is he's got good footwork for being a big guy like that. Decent power. He's not a big knockout guy. I think he's only got like 11 KOs. Another thing, this fight, they're both undefeated. I mean,
Yeah.
this is somebody's always got to go. And of course, Ramirez is a typical Mexican fighter that's going to bring the fight, be aggressive, look for those counters and things like that. If he wants to win this fight, I think he's got to go to the body early and often from the get go. Because one thing I did notice from Bivol is that he is open, his body is open. Um, but my thing is, he's gonna be way the better technical boxer in this one, the better movement, and I think that's just gonna be too much for Ramirez. He will have some success. This is gonna be a good fight. I think the line's like a -400 for Bivol right now. It could be a close fight. I would be lying if that line was not tempting. I saw by the decision Ramirez +600. I'm like, man, that's a little, I kind of
Yeah.
want a little, I kind of want to sprinkle that a little bit, but I think Bill was gonna be too much for him. His gas tank's too much. I think he's gonna finish the fight pretty like nice like what he did with Canelo. I think around like 8, 9, 10. He started picking it up even more. I could see him doing that here with Ramirez, and Ramirez is gonna have too much early and waste too much gas early. And I think Bivol cruises to a decision here. Plus, being in Abu Dhabi, he's Russian, kind of, he'll have some fans over there for sure against a Mexican boxer. So, we'll see, man. But Ramirez he's a little alive in this spot, man. But I gotta go with Bivol.
Yeah, we got Nasty Nate suggesting Dustin Poirier versus Jake Paul, which no,
happen either.
no. And then
we're still talking about Jake Paul.
yeah. Stingham score. Gilberto Ramirez is no Mike, the body stature. McCollum. Yeah, Mike McCollum was a huge boxer back in the 90s. Great boxer, but Ramirez. So funny enough, in San Antonio when I was down there, he fought in. I think he fought in San Antonio a couple times in Corpus Christi. So he's a very, I'm not saying well-known like local guy down there, but you would like he would fight almost every other month. His record's like 44-0, 45-0. Yeah, he just fights, but he's fighting cans.
He's like Manguia. That's what reminds me.
Yeah, he was fighting a bunch of nobodies, and then he stepped up, and kind of credit to what you were saying. His big step up was a body shot knockout over Sullivan Barrera a year and a half ago. My worry with Bivol, which it wasn't against Canelo, obviously, but against Ramirez, he's going to be the smaller guy. Ramirez is a bigger guy, bigger reach. But like we always say when we do the shows, I will always take the better boxer. Bivol is the fight to make. And I don't think it's going to be made, unfortunately, because I think Bivol will fight Canelo in May after he wins this fight. Is Bivol better BF? That's the fight to make, but I don't know when that will happen. Current odds for this fight: mybookie.ag. Enter that promo code PubSports. Get your 50% deposit bonus match credit debit, 100% Bitcoin. MyBookie has Bivol -425. Ramirez +300, round prop over 10.5, -400. So they are saying decision. Yeah. Nasty, I would love for Holly Holm to never fight again. That's just my opinion or preference.
She got robbed in her last fight. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, yeah. But I agree with you here. Bivol, I think Bivol gets done. The line is a little wide. What sucks is this was the line basically for the Canelo fight where Bivol was the big underdog. Now he's the big favorite. I think there's an overreaction because he beat Canelo. So now everyone's going to be like, this guy must be the greatest fighter. He beat Canelo. Right. So I think they bake that into the line. If you're one of those guys, we know that there's guys like that who value bet. Your value is Ramirez. Hope it's a closely contested fight, and he steals the decision. But when you bet like that, you're hoping it's a close fight. I think Bivol's going to win 8 to 9 rounds pretty clearly because Bivol's usually starts pretty slow. Then he gets in his rhythm, and then he starts picking the other guy apart. Put the stamp on it at the end of the fight and win this fight. I like Bivol here. Bivol by decision. Not really seeing much odds for it. I see one book as -200. I'm hoping that comes down, but
I doubt it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like what switched it up for me was the location, like finding in Abu Dhabi. Like I can see that. I can see people taking shots, like I said, by decision from Ramirez at plus 600. If it was like in Texas or Vegas or something, I wouldn't mind it. I'm not saying it's gonna be a robbery. I'm just saying like you'll have like the home field advantage in a way.
Well, I will
Um,
say this: regardless of who wins this fight, it makes sense for Canelo to fight either guy. He fights
yeah,
Ramirez, Mexican fight. You know, that's a
that would be
huge,
that would be sweet.
yeah, on Cinco de Mayo because Canelo's gonna fight Cinco de Mayo. That's gonna be his next
Yeah.
fight. So he fights Ramirez Cinco de Mayo. Who knows? Maybe they put that fight in San
I mean, but you
Antonio.
know, he don't like fighting Mexican guys either. So
Yeah,
that's the thing.
and he
But
wants to get that loss back from Bivol, which
I don't know what he honestly. If Bivol takes care of business, I want to see him fight. You know me, Beterbiev, for all
yeah,
the
that's the
belts.
best fight to make.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
But
that's the best fight to make. But better Biev. Let me look it up. I don't even know when he last fought because he's been.
remember Joe Smith? He knocked him out
Oh
in the first
yeah, yeah,
round. He
yeah. So
killed him.
that was June. Yeah, that was June.
That was like nothing. That was
Yeah,
he's ready right now.
yeah. No, I mean he knocks out everyone he fights. Yeah. Mills in the chat. Ramirez is better than a lot of guys lately. Uh, than a lot of guys Beevil's fought lately, or because I don't think I think a Ramirez Canelo fight would probably be lined at a pick 'em if I had to guess. I but
I
I
don't know. Well, if he beats Bivol, then he'll be the favorite for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Because you know how they're gonna say, like you just said, like it might be recency bias for Bivol because he has beat Canelo, which I think it is.
Hmm.
I think it could be him like minus 300, minus 275. But now you're seeing that minus 400. I
Yeah, it's
think
pretty juiced for
yeah,
two undefeated guys. And but my thing is kind of what we said earlier. Ramirez is more of a can crusher, and then
oh,
Bevol's
this is definitely a big step up for him
yeah,
against Bivol. Yeah, big time.
yeah. So yeah, I like Bivol here. Bivol by decision. That's what I'm going to go with. Like that quite a bit. If you guys see in the chat, kind of brought up earlier, but a lot of the guys are green. Green is a membership. If you guys could be awesome, become a member here at Pub Sports Radio. Uh, $4.99 a month comes out to $5.26. As Nick likes to say, 18 cents a day. You become a member. You support us, support Pub Sports Radio, so we can continue giving you guys this free content. Would be awesome. Other sponsors, mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports, 50% debit credit up to 1,000, 100% Bitcoin up to 1,000. Go make your bets at mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. And last but certainly not least is Prize Picks. All the sports are happening right now. We got baseball still happening. It's November and we still have baseball. Who would have thought? Baseball, NFL, college, hockey, NBA, college basketball is starting next week. Prize
Oh, yeah.
Picks, promo code Pub Sports. Get that deposit bonus. It's 100% up to $100 on Prize Picks. We can wrap this bad boy up. Danny, I guess best bet. I think we're in agreement here, but I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, we're in agreement. I hate lines like this because I'm trying to give out like better lines than this, but like it's like minus 200 by decision for Bivol. I think he gets it done. He doesn't have a ton of knockouts, so I think he gets it done by decision. If you want to go heavy on the decision, one of my favorite bets, 7th round to 12th round, is plus 600 for Bivol. So that's like easy hedge. If somehow he gets like a later knockout, which if he does, I think it's gonna be later. If you want to hedge it that way, so I got Bivol by decision.
And I am in complete agreement here. I don't love the line, obviously, but we would talk about it often. Bivol, him versus Beterbiev would be a huge, crazy
Yes.
fight. But I actually would probably side with Bivol. I just think he's just so technically sound, offensively and defensively, that he's going to be very hard to beat. So Bivol by decision is my pick as well. Thank you to Stingham Scorp there in the chat. As Nikki put in there, get that membership,
Sure.
fellas. And yeah, that should do it for us. If you guys could drop a like, comment down below your pick. You got Ramirez. You got to let us know in the comment section below. Got to see it. Don't put it the day
after.
after.
I
Yeah.
hate that. Don't come out here like a week later. I told you guys. No, you didn't. What?
Yeah. So yeah, put that down in the comment section below. Give us a like, share the video if you could, would be very appreciated.
And if
And
I see this, it better
yeah,
not be edited. Your comment better not be edited because I know you're lying.
yeah, yeah. So that should do it. Stay tuned. 10 minutes from now, Jimmy's gonna be live. NFL Gridiron Gambler NFL show. If you guys are interested in that, tune into that. They're gonna break down the NFL slate of games. And we'll see you guys next week. This was the main event on Talkin Hands. See you guys. Peace.